guys, it's Jamie, and in this video, we are covering Dentrix Views. This is a really helpful tool so that you can customize what you're seeing on your appointment book. So you can change things like which operatories are visible, which providers are shown, and what's actually shown in your appointment block. If you ever have wanted to change what you can actually see on the block or make HIPAA views so that the name is not visible, this is going to show you exactly how to do that. So let's get right into it. Quick side note before we jump in, if you want an easy way to see where patients are falling through the cracks, I highly recommend MaxAssist. It's an AI-powered chart audit tool that reviews your charts and flags things like missing continuing care and overdue recalls. Offices use it a lot to clean up their systems, improve compliance, and honestly, it's just a clear picture of what's happening in your charts. I'll link a free AI chart audit and demo in the description if you want to check it out. All right, now let's get into the tutorial. We want to start by being in the Dentrix Appointment Book. And at the top, on the top menu bar, you're going to click View. And this will open the views that you already have in your system. So for this tutorial, we're going to create a new one. So we'll click New. And this opens the setup for the views. The first thing we're going to choose is which providers appear in the view. So on the left, you'll see a list of providers. So you'll just click the ones that you want to include. A couple key notes here, Dentrix saves up to the first 10 providers for each view, and the provider color column will display for those providers. And just so you know, appointments in an operatory will always show up even if the assigned provider isn't selected, so you won't lose any of the appointments on the screen. So after you select which providers you want to include in the view, the next thing is operatories. So down here, you'll see the operatory list, and you'll just check the ones that you want visible in this view. You can show up to 10 operatories at a time. And that's great because maybe, hygienists only want to see hygiene rooms, and maybe the front desk doesn't need to see everything at one time, especially useful for really large offices. You can pare down what you're viewing. Up here, this month time view, this is the start time of your pracs, first patient time, end time, have that set up here. This is important because Dentrix requires these for the month view to work. So if your office ever uses the month view, if these aren't set correctly, you may get error messages later. So it's worth making sure that your times here are correct. Below that, you'll select the days that your office is open. So if your office is closed on Fridays, Saturday, Sunday, you can uncheck those so that it doesn't show those days while you're in this view. Now let's talk about what actually shows inside the appointment block. So Dentrix lets you display up to 9 lines of information. Most practices really only need 2 or 3, maybe 4 lines, so it doesn't look cluttered. But for each display line, you'll choose what you want it to show. So things like patient name, appointment reason, phone numbers, provider, production amounts. You can scroll through here and change anything that you want. You can have the preferred name or nickname, chart number, who they were referred by, age, phone number, email. You can go through and select anything that you want to see. And that's what will show in here on the appointment block. Most offices do something like patient name, appointment reason, phone number, provider, or the amount. This is like the production amount for this appointment. You can add anything else that you want in here. One tip, put the most important info on the top lines because shorter appointments may not display all the way down. And for preferred names, don't replace the name line entirely because if a patient doesn't have a preferred name, it will just show up blank. Now let's look at a few optional but really helpful settings. Check the view amount if you want Dentrix to show your scheduled production total in a small box in the upper right corner of the schedule. It'll be up here. View appointment notes down here. Turn this on if you want to see a note icon on any appointment that has an appointment note attached to it. This is a really easy visual cue that there's something you should look at. View alerts. This adds the red cross icon if the patient has a health history alert, which is super important clinically. And then the view provider columns. This adds color-coded provider columns to the left of the appointment book. They look like this right here. If you don't want those showing, you can just uncheck that here. Once everything looks good, click OK to save the view. And you can see it's added this new view for us on here. Now that your views are set up, let's talk about switching between them. So Dentrix allows up to 12 different views per workstation. It's another important thing to note. These views are set up at each workstation. So what I have set up in my operatory might look different than what the front desk has on their computer or what the assistants have on their computer. Every computer will have its own views section just like this. So each view gets assigned a function key. So F1, F2, F3, these are coordinated with your keyboard. So the quickest way to switch between them is to press the function key on your keyboard to change the appointment book instantly. So if I'm closed out of this, this is the view that I'm currently in. If I click F1, F2, F3, you can see how it changed those. If you prefer using the mouse, you can just click on view at the top and either select the one you want and click select, or just double click and it will change the view that you're looking at. One tip is to have one view that is HIPAA compliant. That's what this view is here. And if we go into the settings of this, line 1 is none. We've taken out the patient name entirely. There are a lot of times in a lot of offices that you have the computer screen up and maybe the patients can see over your shoulder, or maybe it's even right in front of them while you're scheduling appointments, or you just have it up. So really important to have one view that is HIPAA compliant. So for example, in my operatory, I have it set up for F1 to show the patient's name. That's when I'm doing my chart prep or I'm just looking at it. When a patient comes in, I click F2, it removes the name. So just in case I have it up where a patient could accidentally see my screen, there are no names showing. And I can just quickly alternate between F1 and F2 to show or not show those names. Now, the views in Dentrix just change what is in your appointment block and what is viewed on your appointment book screen. If you want to change like the display of it, colors, fonts, and all of that, I'm going to make a separate video on that. That's going to come out next Friday. So if that's something that you are into, then subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss that information, as well as any other dental tech or Dentrix tips and tutorials. I put out new videos every week, so subscribe to this channel while you're here. Okay, so that is how you change the views for your appointments in Dentrix. So I hope that you found this video helpful. If so, and you like watching Dentrix tutorials and other dental tech tips, subscribe to this channel. I put out new videos every week, so I will see you in the next one.